Mhm. Hey y'all, what's going on? Mark here with Honey Badger No Care. Working on the latest video, doing the latest one. Ooh, making sure of something real quick. My laugh tracks and everything aren't coming through. I don't know why. Darn it, I'm gonna have to figure that part out. But anyway, wanted to make sure I figured something out, but I guess it's not doing what I wanted to do. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start this one. I don't want this one to go as long, so I've just been posting, I guess, some of my latest videos on Gab. If you're not on Gab and you're conservative, get on Gab. That way we can get away from fucking Twitter. All right? Here we go, people.
Alright guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video, y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active.
And y'all know how I feel about MTR. Much love to this brother. Much, much, much love. He actually did write me. He actually did like one of my videos and responded to me. So he probably does. I know darn well he probably doesn't like the way I go about things, but I turned 52 in like 3 months. I've already been there, done that with life and death and everything else. I really just have, I don't give a fuck attitude anymore. He takes a much more calm and collected attitude towards things. But then again, he's also monetized and things like that. And I've been saying over and over and over, I don't care about monetization. I care about just getting the message out. And if I sound like an angry black man that actually has diction, you know, because they say, well, the angry black person, you know. I'm not angry. I just get passionate about what I talk about. That's just it. But let's go ahead and keep going. Love this brother.
Guys, much different conversation today, but I think it is incredibly appropriate to be able to have this discussion in the name of modern day feminism and all of the bullshit that it has caused on our earth, on our planet, not only for men, but for women as well. One of the greatest lies that modern day feminism continues to push today is irrespective of your biological sex, we are equal. Men and women are equal. Now, when we talk about this particular subject,
yes, men and women are equal outside of the biology. However, within the biology, we are not equal. We are not. I've been saying it. This is the third video in this series. Intelligence and wisdom, we equal for the most part all day. Physicality, yeah, no.
myriad of sections that we can talk about. The main two is the understanding of feminism, right? And its ideas of pushing not only equality amongst the sexes, but modern day feminism also pushes superiority amongst the sexes for women, but also LGBTQ rights. And we're not going to talk about that one as much. That's not my skilo, okay? But we will talk about how this group leverages ideals of feminism to cheat modern women. Without further ado,
is that we have a weightlifter in New Zealand who for the first 30 years of their life was a man, then made the decision to transition to being a woman. Wasn't a particularly successful weightlifter as a man, but now is an incredibly successful weightlifter as a woman and has a chance of winning a gold medal at the upcoming Olympic Games.
That's a brute right there.
Well, it's a man, baby.
Sheesh.
It hurts, you know, people, we train our whole lives for this one moment. We work hard to be the best athletes we can be. We put our life on hold a lot of the time just to train for this pinnacle event. And then to have it taken away in this situation,
It's
it
a
hurts
biological
a lot,
woman.
physically, mentally, like it's just very devastating.
Yeah, that was a woman that was talking. Basically having to work so hard as a woman to get, I'm wondering if she got second or third. I'm wondering if she got second or third. So she busted her ass to be where she's at. Now, mind you, hey, konnichiwa, man. Now, mind you, we're not going to fault the man for working hard. Here's the thing. Why don't you work as hard as competing against the men? You know damn well you know damn well you were going to beat these women. And you stole their position. You stole their place. That's just sick. That is fucking sick. You know, change who you want to be. How about you do this? Here's the plan. How about you do this? You change your sex, gender, whatever. You change that, because that's what you want to do, but still compete against the men. Why aren't you doing that? I mean, your sex and gender is your personal life, right? That's you. I feel I'm a woman and I want to transition to a woman. Yeah. Do that. How about you still compete against the men, though? Because you know damn well you're still biologically a man. You, as far as you changing your outward appearance and everything and the clothes and shit you want to wear, fine. Do that. But still compete against the men. Why aren't you doing that? That's a question I want to ask these people. Why aren't you competing against the men?
EMA exclusive, 2 transgender high school runners, well, they're kicking up dust in Connecticut, taking the top spot.
Again, you can still transition. Transition, great, beautiful and brave. Be you. Why aren't you still competing against the boys, though? I mean, they're not supposed to ridicule you or anything like that anymore. I mean, it's not acceptable. They're not supposed to attack you. Bullying is wrong. So why aren't you still competing against the men? Curious about that. Still transition. Great, transition. Why aren't you still competing against the men?
Girls Championship, leaving parents wondering if they have an unfair advantage.
You need to wonder if they have an unfair advantage? Michael Strahan, what would happen if a woman came on the football field at the time when you were playing, motherfucker? Huh? Would you have taken it easy on her, or would you flattened her? Somehow or another, Michael Strahan's forgotten he played sports too.
Miller and Andrea Yearwood dominating the competition at the girls' track and field
Because they're men.
in Connecticut
They're boys.
earlier this month, coming in first and second place respectively.
Because they're boys.
And while it was a state race, their wins are making national headlines, not because of what they did, but because of who they are, 2 transgender girls.
When was the first time that either of you found any kind of opposition to you participating on the girls' team?
Why don't you compete? Nobody cares that you're transitioning. We don't give a fuck about that. What we give a fuck about is you competing against goddamn women. That's what we care about.
I was expecting it, so every day I'll go home, search up track and field high school, Terry Miller.
Because you wanted to know what people were saying.
Yeah.
Some of those comments were harsh, critics complaining that
Fuck you. You want to do something like this? Fuck you. They're going to be harsh. I'm going to be harsh. Compete against the boys. You are no, again, beautiful and brave. You want to transition? Great. Compete against the boys. Stop competing against fucking girls. Stop.
that Andrea and Terry both have an unfair advantage since they were born boys.
At 6'2" and weighing 100 kilos, the Australian Football League has ruled that Hannah is too powerful to play in its elite women's competition.
Because it's a man. Too powerful. Because it's biologically a man. Didn't we remember when I was growing up in the late 70s and 80s, I remember all the jokes that came out about Russian women because they were giving them all steroids to fucking compete and shit. I remember all the fucking jokes of a woman. I'm a woman. They were women, but they were all hopped up on steroids and they got disqualified. This is an actual man. So you shouldn't be competing with the women. If we're going to allow this, why are we not allowing women to take steroids? Why not? Why not?
100 kilos is like 220, okay? For all my Americans out there.
220 and solid. Hate to tell you, a woman being 220 more than likely is not solid. It's probably a lot of just weight on them. That's 220 solid.
Because she was once a man.
I obviously don't agree with
No. You weren't once a man. You are a man. I'm sorry, but you can't change biology. I'm a witch. This isn't coming from a Christian point of view. You're a man. You didn't change. For one, I'm pagan. Two, I play D&D. I've been playing D&D since I was like 13 years old. You didn't magically polymorph into a woman. You were still a man.
what the AFL has done. You know, there's a dozen girls within a couple of centimetres of my height, so I certainly wasn't the tallest.
Look at this, the AFL today has denied.
You mentioned height. Who gives a fuck about your fucking height? Oh, I wasn't the tallest. Yeah, but you're solid man. Solid muscle. Solid muscle. Who gives a fuck about height? I know a lot of women who are 6 foot and still I outweigh and outpower them. And these are Amazon basic, what you would consider an Amazon or a shield maiden, you know, an Amazon or a shield maiden, Viking shield maiden. Big, muscular farm girl, 6 foot tall. Yeah, nowhere near going to be on my power level. So don't even try the whole height bullshit.
Transgender athlete Hannah Mounsey.
Hannah is at the centre of a heated row over equality in sport.
Is this what equality is? Is this what equality looks like? Are we just going to ignore the biological differences between men and women for this idea of...
I mean, look at this. This is like fucking Andre the Giant next to this little woman. And they're Muslim. So I'm really curious about how the Muslim world, because remember, you're not supposed to touch their women. This is a man. And I hate to tell you, Muslim people do not follow any Western fucking values and bullshit of this transgender stuff. No. I'm surprised I'm surprised that the officials and everybody else didn't get death threats from this. Because this is look at, they're wearing hijabs. They're wearing fucking hijabs. They're wearing their damn head covering. So this religion is their life. Religion to these people is their life. You are literally touching their women. They are touching you, a man. I'm really curious. I need to look this up because I'm really curious how the men felt about this. Some of them are probably married. Woo! Wondering how their men felt about that. There's gotta be. Look, 6'3", 250. There has got to be news out there of this shit. And I'm telling you, the men probably lost their shit. What did you put? As I said before, in sports, you do not compete using your ideology. You compete with your body. The progressiveness gave forgotten about this while destroying women. Yeah, I know, they forgot about it. You notice this is only happening in the Western world, not in Russia, China, India, or even North or South Korea. Makes you wonder the truth of this movement. I've mentioned that before. Why, why isn't the rest? I mean, I guess they're saying that these other countries are savages. How dare these savages not allow this? Funny, you know damn well CNN ain't gonna say that. They're just gonna keep pushing this agenda, but they ain't gonna say anything. I mean, I brought it up. I brought it up when it deals with climate change. We are probably one of the strictest EPA written countries in the world, yet these motherfucking climate people aren't bothering to go after Mexico, China, who are polluting more than South America, polluting more than anyone in the world. Why aren't these climate people going over to these other countries and arguing these points? Yeah, because they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. We already know that.
Equality. It feels good to say that we're all equal. It feels good to say anything you can do, I can do better. It feels good, but when you take it to the arena of physical sports, of physical activity, take your feelings out of it. It must go back to science. It must be.
Hey, Fauci and everybody. What was that whole believe in science, trust science? I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to trust science. I'm supposed to question science. Ever since I was a child, we were always taught and told science is the questioning of things. That's what science is. Because, I mean, think about science before the Wright brothers created the first airplane. We were never going to fly. That's what science was. Science was that we were never meant to fly. And holy fuck, we're flying like crazy now. Science was the earth was flat. Found that out, that the earth is actually a fucking sphere. Or obloid sphere. Let me see, what else? Science was we were never going to go into outer space. Holy fuck, we do that. Oh shit, we fucking do that. Science was the automobile wasn't going to work. Horses were the way to travel. Oh the fuck, we've got self-driving cars now. You do realize these modern day scientists are the same people that were basically calling everyone else heretics. These modern day scientists are now the same evil motherfuckers that were basically holding back the Wright brothers and everybody else that believed we could go further than where we were. Do you even know, if it wasn't for the Catholic Church and the church in general, how much further we would be technologically? We would, oh my God, all of us probably would have flying cars right now if it wasn't for the church calling everybody heretics and shit, and witches and burning them and killing them and the Inquisition. I mean, fucking Da Vinci had to hide a lot of his research from the church. Modern medicine. Do you have any idea how far we would be if it wasn't for the church being in the way? Science is the questioning of everything. Yet these motherfuckers only want the science they want, that they allow. Telling you, we keep needing a revolution. These motherfuckers need to go. The reason you don't see climate activists going to non-Western countries is the same reason you don't see any activists going. They won't back down like Western countries do. Yeah, we already know that. We know that. We know damn well that's the reason why they ain't going to fucking China or Russia protesting like they do here and blocking trains and fucking shipping and trucks and shit. We already know that's the reason why they're not going to do that in Western countries. I mean, sorry, Eastern countries, because they would get murdered. They would get outright murdered. As the comedian said, this is Russia. Fuck her. Yeah, seriously. I say we grab Greta Thunberg and all these motherfuckers, and ship them to China. Just fucking halo drop their asses in China and let them go ahead and practice their fucking climate shit there. We'll never hear from them again. Guarantee that. Let me see what else. Most mainstream scientists that are accepted by the left are all bought and paid for by corporations. We know that. Look what they did to Robert Malone. Oh yeah, I know. But let's keep going.
Quantified. It must go back to statistics. It must go back to logic. We cannot continue to live in a space
of ideology. Ideology is not fact. Ideology is fantasy. Again, I fucking play D&D and I'm looking at you assholes going, y'all know magic isn't real, right? The belt of masculinity and femininity is not real. Polymorph is not real. You are still a man. Magic does, I may be a witch, but magic doesn't exist on the level of fucking Gandalf and shit, okay? Merlin, it does. If it did, oh my lord, if it did, I'd be like, fireball, fireball, fireball. I'd be blowing everybody up if it did. I'd be wiping out entire cities if it did. Fuck. I'd be like, hey, Elminster, these motherfuckers need to go. I'd be joining the Red Wizards of Thay just to fucking waste entire cities. All the Democratic cities, Chicago, boom. Seattle, boom. I'd be like, minute meteors, fireball, lightning. I'd be fucking just fucking poisonous cloud. I'd be, oh my God, I'd be wiping y'all out. Oh, if magic existed to that level. But what I'm getting at is, magic doesn't exist to that level, fuckers. So your ideology needs to go. Go.
Where your feelings judge your thoughts outside of objective reality. My argument.
See, that's my point. You people are throwing out logic, reason, and reality for your fucking ideals and fantasy. That's the reason why you motherfuckers want to keep legalizing pot and other drugs, is because, you know why? You can't deal with the real world. And I'm sorry, how is that our problem that you motherfuckers can't deal with the real world? How's that our problem?
Here today is that this version of men and women are equal is doing more harm to women than good. Let's move on.
Chain lightning. Wow. Wow. Look at this. This is not oh my God. Look at this shit. No. God
damn.
Oh my God, that is just so sick, dude. You're not a girl. You're not a girl over there. Oh my God, you're not a girl. Stop. And you notice how he is jumping more than everybody else? It's because he's trying to force acceptance. That's why.
How do I expect a fight to end? In a bloodbath.
Watch this.
She's a pretty strong fighter. I don't think she has a technique to beat me. So I'm just going to take it to her over and over again until I win this fight.
Let's welcome her opponent to the cage, Erica Newsom.
I feel really well. I've been training really hard for this opportunity for a long time.
And look at this girl. I mean, physical specimen, man. Wow. Great shape. She's solid, she's tough, and she's ready to go. She doesn't want Fallon taking home that $20,000. Good throws and reversals by both fighters. These girls are getting right into it. Fox delivering the knees, and that's it. Fallon Fox. Holy cow. Game over.
McKinnon argues the debate is fundamental.
Honestly, when I first encroached on this topic, you know, shout out to Dave Chappelle, I wasn't aware, Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson, I wasn't aware so much as all of these topics until I started hearing them speak about it. And then I did my own research. But it really wasn't until I learned that trans women were competing in combat sports. It's one thing to be running track and to smoke the girls that's on the biological girls that's on the court, but it's a goddamn other thing to put them in combat sports together. We're not built the same, irrespective of being later in life medically created. For example, the reaction time of a man versus a woman is actually different. Not sure if y'all even knew that, all right? So think about in
Right. Reaction time, men are faster. Let me see. Hand and eye coordination. Men are stronger. Men are faster. We're built that way because nature built us that way. Again, well, definitely not again. I mean, it's plain. I'm a fucking witch. Nature is nature. Stop trying to fuck with nature. We are built to be the protectors. That's what we are built to do. You're not. Your ideals do not change nature. Your ideals do not change reality. What you people are, the only thing I can think of is y'all are insane. The only thing that makes any fucking sense is y'all are insane.
Combat sports, having to slip jabs and counter. As a man, you're predisposed to being quicker to be able to do that. Not only have an increase in muscle mass of the power behind your reaction, but also the shape of our muscles, the shapes of our bones, the shapes and the largeness of our hand.
The density of our muscles and bones. We all know that women, their bones are less dense than men. We know this. This is science. But, oh, you fucking liberals want to throw science out when it suits you. You want to change science. You want to change reality when it suits you. Mental health should be treated, not propped up like the progressives are doing. We know this. This isn't something they should feel good about. I know. Men were designed by nature. We know. Yeah, we know. We were designed by nature to be strong, fast, survive. Women were designed for childbirth. That's what they were designed for. That's why they're the ones giving birth. We were designed to be the defenders, the protectors. That's what we were designed to do. You want to argue this? Here's the thing. How about you argue to God, whatever God you believe in? How about you argue with Gaia or whatever God or goddess you believe in? Why don't you argue to them? Why are you arguing with us? Motherfucker, we're on the same planet just as you. We didn't create you. We didn't make humans. Stop arguing with the way we feel about things because we don't want to go against the laws of nature.
It's different.
About equality and human rights, both on and off the playing field.
Inclusion's a fundamental principle in society. So I think that applies also to sport, that applies to intersex women, cis women, and trans women, that to be considered fully equal members of society, to be respected in our identities, is to be included in sport for who we are. And
no, because you were still a man. If this is the case, as John McEnroe said when he was talking about tennis, this needs to be spread across all sports. Get rid of men and women's sports and just have sports. Fucking do that. Do that and we'll see what happens. There's my challenge right there to anybody that wants to come on my channel and try to talk shit, because you ain't going to change my mind. I'm not Crowder. You're not changing my mind. You know why you're not going to change my mind? Because you motherfuckers live in fantasy. But how about you do exactly, seriously, get rid of it. Get rid of all men's and women's sports. Unite it all into just sports. And let's see you fucking talk then.
And trans women are women.
Do you think you...
Trans women are not women. I don't give a fuck what you feel or think on the inside. Science. Remember science? You remember science, right? You didn't just, I mean, you know how many women, just because you believe the way you are, somehow that changes you? Well, damn, you know how many girls I knew growing up that wanted bigger breasts and they concentrated on it every day? You know why they didn't get bigger breasts? Because there's no real magic like that in the world, and science doesn't work like that. How our minds and bodies work and function are different between men and women. Designed them from hunting and protection, women for gathering and childbearing. It's that simple. We know that. We know that. Again, y'all want to argue. This is what's so funny about people wanting to argue about this shit with us. It's like, motherfuckers, I'm not God. I didn't create humanity for you to be arguing with me. Argue to whatever God you believe in and bitch to them. Because science is science. And you motherfuckers aren't following science at all. I don't give a shit what the hell these progressive dumbasses, whatever, it's about how you feel. The science changes your thought, your brain waves, and, your thinking of being a trans person, we've done the scans and it changes, your brain waves change. Sure as fuck doesn't change. You know what? May change your brain waves. It may do that. Sure as fuck doesn't change your physical nature. You can think all you fucking want. It ain't changing your physical nature.
You'd have been a world champion cyclist if you hadn't transitioned.
I don't think I am a world champion because I'm a trans woman. I put in the work. And again, we have to remember...
You did put in the work. Now compete against men where you belong. You did put in the work, but you are still a man competing against women, and it is an unfair advantage.
Remember, I lose most of my races. I've lost against the specific cis women.
That's still not the, and I tell you right now, I still don't trust you. I don't believe you. I actually do believe that you're probably losing on purpose. I don't fucking trust you at all. To prove the point, hey, lose a few of these races, okay? So that way, we don't get that whole, we're just beating the women and everything. I don't trust you at all.
Men complaining about me being unfair.
The men's 100-meter record is 9.58 seconds. The women's is 10.49 seconds. There is an undisputable advantage for men in sport, isn't there?
We talk about men being faster than women. We have to be very careful what we're talking about.
No, we don't.
So
why? Why do we need to be careful about what the fuck we're talking about? Why? No, you want to be careful and you want us to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. Men and women are different. It's nature. This is my goddamn religion we're talking about. It's fucking nature.
The example you gave was at the
in speed and strength sports, they have a 10%, 12% advantage in most scientific opinions.
At the elite level, right? So when we look at...
Even on the average level, dumbass. Average, most men will beat the fuck out of women. That's average. That's not at the elite level. That's just average men versus women. Most average men can beat professional women in things.
The very best athletes in men and women, you see this roughly 10 to 12% gap. But if we're talking about like the average man, no, that's not true.
But when we're talking about the IOC...
Actually, you're lying your ass off. You're fucking lying. If we're talking about the average man, that's not true. Really? Because I know a lot of average men on the basketball court that can whip the ass of these WNBA people. I know a lot of average tennis players out there that can beat most of the fucking ranked women. The fuck are you talking about? You're lying your ass off.
We're talking about the elite level, aren't we?
Holy moly.
if you look within a single sex event, the difference between first and eighth is very large. And the difference between first and first between sexes is often smaller than the difference between first and eighth within a sex.
So by that logic, would you not have male or female categories whatsoever?
I think that's a great question. I think that's a different question.
And you're not answering it. And you're not fucking answering it. You're full of shit. You are absolutely full of shit. As John McEnroe said, and as I said, get rid of the fucking sexes and shit. Get rid of it. All just sports. No, this piece of shit is lying their ass off and dodging the goddamn question. Well, that's a different question. Yeah, it's a different question. Can you answer it? Let's see.
I think
no, it's not.
Not fair to trans people to say, well, in order to fix whether to include you in sport, let's just radically shift how we do sport. The IOC.
Why not? Why not? All of you motherfuckers, you fucking feminists and you trans people, you're the ones saying that there's no difference. You're the ones saying it. These are your words. There's no difference. We're equal. There's no difference. Well, if that's the case, get rid of the men and women sports and just have sports. Because you're fucking full of shit. You know damn well you're only saying this because they haven't done it yet. I'm waiting. Oh my God, I'm waiting for one fucking day where somebody has the balls to go, hey, you know what? We're just going to allow men and women. Golf, tennis, let's start there. Let's start basically at the bottom of what would be considered, you know, as far as physical. Let's go with tennis and golf. And just say that's it. We're not going to have the men's or women's PGA. Nope, we're just going to have the fucking PGA. Watch what fucking happens.
He has no appetite for that at the moment. They are fully committed to.
You hear what this bitch said? Making it sound like it's we who aren't ready for this. Last time I checked, we're the ones all calling for it, going, no, let's do it so we can shut y'all up once and for all.
Only two sex categories of sport.
This study by the Swedish university, the Karolinska Institute, which I know you've read closely, it does say that there's very limited change in thigh strength 12 months after transitioning and taking testosterone suppressants. Thigh strength, as you know more than anyone else, obviously a huge thing, particularly in sport, but particularly in track cycling. Do you accept that there may still be an advantage?
Is it possible? Yeah.
Is it possible? Motherfucker. Funny how this dumbass brought up science, but now when the science was actually brought up to him, all of a sudden he throws out the science and goes, is it possible? See what I mean? What these motherfuckers do when it comes to science?
Yes. However, the range of body sizes and strength levels within a sport, you can be successful with massively different body compositions.
All right, so the argument there.
You know, y'all know me, who watch my channel, y'all know me. I don't like word salad. You notice how he was very direct in the shit that he was talking about from his point of view. But when asked a question, he basically played, fucking Scrabble. It was just fucking alphabet soup, word salad. Just threw a whole bunch of words together that actually didn't even answer the fucking question. People like that get on my goddamn nerves.
Was from the idea of elite level cyclists in that example. Only at that level is there differences. But you know and I know, you walk out into the world, look at objective reality, even at the average level, okay? Average. You and I, right? Not athletes. There was a fundamental difference, a biological difference between men and women. The size of men and women. The muscle mass of men and women. For too long, we have allowed these feminist ideologies to permeate into our mind to the idea of bringing up the differences between the two. And just like in that example, you have to be careful.
There is an undisputable advantage for men in sport, isn't there?
We talk about
Big
men
true.
being faster than women. we have to be very careful what we're talking about.
No, we don't.
So
The concepts of feminism don't allow us to accept that we have differences between the sex.
All right. I'm going to stop this video here. Now, let me point something out. These people have lost their ever-loving minds. They've lost their minds. Because, let me zoom in here, get this right. It's funny how he said, there's no difference. They keep saying it. There's no difference. We're equal. We're equal. You're equal. We're equal. Y'all need to stop. We're equal. But when you ask the question of, well, let's, or statement, make a statement of, well, fine, we're equal, right? You keep saying, you're the ones. You're the ones that keep saying we're equal. Well, then let's stop with the whole sexist thing and just unify all sports. But as I said before, they don't want that. They don't want that because they know right then and there, it will prove that we were right all along. And that is something that they definitely don't want. They don't want to be proven that we were right. That's the reason why they're going to keep living this lie as long as they can. But anyway, I will talk to y'all later. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another one because it's already after 9 o'clock. Man, I talk a long time. And I will talk to y'all later. Mark with Honey Badger. Peace out.